Hey guys, Huzz here, bringing you another video. Now, welcome to another episode of Climb to Master. Doing a replay episode today to one of two things. One, I didn't really have anything else to do and record, and I'm having a day off from playing today. This was a good game. And secondly, as kind of an announcement of the recent Papercraft Anivia launch, Riot obviously have provided League partners with the Chroma bundles. So if you want to enter that, throw a like on the video, subscribe and leave a comment, and this is only sadly for EU West or North Americans because those are the only codes I have for. Anyway, going for an invade with the classic Blitzcrank invade. Lindley gets hooked, we get a stun with my Anivia Q, and boom, she dies. Blitzcrank did throw the ignite, which was questionable, didn't really need to do that, but yeah, successful gank. Or invade rather, which is always nice. But I will say the skin that I'm sporting this game is the Papercraft Anivia, but I am not using the Chroma. I didn't actually have it at this time of recording. But just to make it clear what you get if you win, you get Anivia the champion if you don't own it. You get the new Papercraft skin if you don't own it. And you also get the exclusive green Chroma that League partners obviously can bring. So you get all three if you own none of it, which is really cool. Right, so we're against Sylas. So Sylas, again, he's been growing on me a little bit because, you know, it's about learning the champion. What does he actually do? What is his strengths? But I was kind of theory crafting, as I normally do, what would be good against him. And Anivia, really good against him because Anivia has that, like, straight stun that, you know, a good Sylas might E to the side and then E onto the Anivia, but very commonly Sylases, to maximize their damage output, want to auto attack in between every single spell. So their first E, they auto attack, then second E, auto attack. They don't really want to waste the first E just to dodge an ability. So I thought Anivia could be good because you're either going to waste his ability or he's going to come to you and you can stun him, in theory. And also, you know, his ultimate, he steals a Anivia ult. It's good for wave clear, but that will absolutely obliterate his mana because he's not built for that amount of mana use. So really, it's a good pick, I think, versus Sylas. So if you are kind of thinking what to do, what to play, then yeah. Alright, so in the early game, you'll notice that two things are happening. I'm going to throw a pause. We just saw Nidalee roam down, and I'm like, ooh, we know Nidalee got a little bit put behind from the first blood. I can maybe just go mess with her. But unfortunately, the exact same time that this is going on, Lee Sin's at the crab, and Sylas moves over. So obviously I move left, Sylas moves right. But it's not just that, it's Thresh as well. So, like, you know, in this lane, Thresh is already gone, which is unfortunate. So that basically makes the Lee Sin in a 2v1. So let's just quickly watch what happens. I think he's just going to get whipped. And again, he could, by the way, at this point, back out. Blitzcrank is coming now, but we know that the Sylas is at higher health, Thresh is at full health, Lee Sin's quite low. I'm over here just kind of trying to mess with the Nidalee a little bit. But anyway, he goes for it. He then gets fully engaged on, and I think is going to die relatively for free. Yeah, so bit of a mistake by Lee. I don't really know what that was about. It was very questionable. And you can see the Lee Sin's now pinging me when he was safe. He got out and then decided to go back in. So again, very weird play. The spell shield comes and blocks that. But yeah, not a great start, obviously. The Sylas now against us is 101. We obviously have a bit more farm than him, but that's an unfortunate situation. There's more question mark pings by the Lee Sin. But from memory, my team was like, Lee, you could have backed out. Like, I just muted him because, like, screw that. But then the Blitzcrank I didn't mute because he was actually quite nice from memory. He was like, yeah, Lee, you could have backed out. That wasn't Anivia's fault, and which is 100% true. Anyway, returning to mid lane, I think I'm going to try and push this in and potentially go back and buy. Build-wise, I don't actually remember what build I did. This game was about 2 or 3 days ago again. Whenever you see a replay episode like this, it pretty much means I didn't stream or record it. Because again, I am playing in my own spare time right now. Today is a pure day off though. I'm just going to have a really chill day today. But there's the nice new wall from all the paper books for the skin. I think it looks kind of nice. But anyway, we're all both low health. I know that Sylas used Ignite because I think I'm pretty sure I watched him use Ignite. And now you get the Lee Sin here who's, you know, just randomly mid lane taking XP and farm. So again, when you get players like this, it's really annoying. Before I muted him, he was like, let's open, GG, well played Anivia. And everyone's like, dude, what are you, like, stop. Don't be that guy. Like, it's just really cringy, and you're making the game harder for yourself, like, when you're that guy. Especially when you did the play to yourself. He was, alright, he was written close to dead, then he chooses to go back in. Odd. Anyway, I go back, so I do pick up myself a Corrupting Potion and a thingy. By the way, right now, Fiora is randomly 2v1ing. Yeah, I don't really know how that happened. Anyway, Sylas is now looking to roam. Lee Sin again is invading when he's behind. Again, very questionable Lee Sin player. Lee Sin just managed to survive. Kalista building up her E, really close to get a kill. Hasn't got one, though, unfortunately. And they do manage to survive. Severe is now making her way into the mix. I'm now going to make my way over. And Blitzcrank, hopefully, it will as well. So, again, a lot of the crazy play that's been happening in this game has just been originating from this Lee Sin just going a bit too nuts. And just he needs to calm it down a bit. And I understand there's partial pressure like on a Lee Sin. It's like, I'm an early game champion. If I muck up the early game, what am I going to do later? The answer to that is utility. You still can do a lot of utility. If you muck up early game and just feed the enemy team, or you just muck up your lanes, that's probably worse. So, yeah, kind of be smart about what you're doing, even if you're that early game champion that you think you need to have a lot of pressure. Like, hell, even Pantheon, who is the ultimate early game champion that falls off, has a stun, right? So at least you could stun somebody if you don't have a great early game. So he's going for the classic Sylas build now. If you watched, I think it would have been today's episode of Iron to Diamond, we played Sylas, and I'm pretty sure I went that build. It's just really good. It gives him a little bit of mobility, a bit more burst. It just gives everything that Sylas wants. Auto attack bonus, because obviously you do want to be auto attacking a lot on that champion. And by the way, on Sylas's release, I do think he is weak in... The weird thing is he's weak in some aspects, but really strong in others. Like, his W heal is too strong, but his survivability sometimes is a bit low. And his damage numbers can be low if he doesn't snowball. But I do partially think why he was so weak when he first came out is people weren't maximizing the auto attack. People weren't doing the auto attack after every single ability, which you have to do. Anyway, we're now finally level 6, so this is kind of where Anivia becomes Anivia. And Nidalee misses her spear, gonna go for some return damage. She hits level 6, getting knocked up, then getting speared. I managed to keep my egg. And you saw, again, with this, the saltiness of the Lee Sin, he was, make no assumptions he was going to come over and help. He was just going to leave me to die, which, yeah, that's, again, this type of player. But, oh well. Bot lane, they do end up killing Thresh. They have obviously focused the Thresh over the Severe, which sometimes is questionable. He does go down, or she does go down Kalista. Blitzcrank is now looking to fight. Don't really know if he's going to get anything there. He's just going to back off. Lee Sin doing red. Sylas looking for a roam. Again, this guy has been relatively roam heavy. Which I guess is partial, you know, he's an assassin after all, and Anivia has a very weak early game. So again, Anivia, as I kind of joked about earlier, doesn't really become Anivia until level 6. Because that's your champ, your ult with the combinations of slows, stuns, and using your E, and you're walling people in. That's level 6, so it's a little bit rough when someone has early aggression or they roam early. That's very much her weakness. So I just came back to lane, and you notice I'm basing straight away, and that's just to get the Tear of the Goddess. So I think, actually, from memory, I try a new build this game that doesn't involve Rod of Ages. I actually try skipping Rod and build straight into an Archangel. Where did I get this build from? Froggen. I got this build from Froggen, so obviously he was the godlike Anivia of pro play. So, was just testing it out, see how it goes. The strength to it, apparently, is just you get a little bit stronger in early game. And Roa, with the amount of AP items in the game nowadays, you don't necessarily need Roa. It's nice, but you don't need it. Anyway, Sylas is missing, so I'm going to look just to push up the lane, just, you know, have some pressure. Come back to lane, please. You can see the mana usage with Anivia Ultimate is very high, which, again, leads to the point I was saying. Good luck Sylas stealing and keeping Anivia up. You're just going to use all your mana. Sylas doesn't build all the mana regen tools like Anivia does. You know, Tear of the Goddess and stuff like that. So we get rid of that control ward. That's been a popular spot that they've been putting that, actually. But you'll notice top lane, just as a quick update of the game, top lane is doing well, 3-1. Obviously got that early double kill. They do end up killing Yorick again, but Lee Sin does die. She's above in farm. Jungle, Lee Sin obviously is a bit behind with the general play that's been going on. Mid lane, I'm a little bit behind with the general play that's been going on. And bot lane's doing, weirdly, ahead in farm, but below in kills. You know, it's weird when that happens, because in theory it shouldn't, but oh well. Sylas, once again, is missing, so it looks like he pushes a wave and then looks to roam. Pushes a wave, looks to roam. And in this stage of the game, I'm not confident that I could really stop that. And, like, if I try to follow a roam of his, I could die. Like, he could just have the straight up strength to kill me. If he's just waiting in a bush, I run into the bush thinking he's going bot lane, he could just straight up kill me. So that's why, if you're wondering, Huz, why don't you look to follow the roam? You can't right now. You need more strength. So I'm going to go back again. I presume I'm going to buy some AP component now, because obviously I've got no ability power as of yet. So yeah, I buy one Amp Tome. Also, obviously, it helps with the mana regen, or just get the mana back. And while you're on base, obviously use your ultimate just to stack the tier a bit. Some people do ask, by the way, why don't you leave leave base with full mana health? Sometimes you don't really need to, if that makes sense. But sometimes, if it's very close with the regen that you have, by the time I get to lane, I'm going to have probably, what, about 1250 mana? That's enough to go back into lane, because I'm not really looking to do any crazy plays. I'm just looking just to survive until I get items. Anyway, Sylas goes straight into my ultimate, which is just nice. You know, that is a decent amount of damage. He uses ultimate. Look at his mana pool, everybody. He is now... Ooh. Like, that's what I meant. Like, he cannot steal my ultimate. He just came back to lane himself and now is dead because he stole my ultimate, kept my ultimate up, and ran out of mana. That's why I think Anivia is potentially, dare I say it, one of the ultimate counters to Sylas. Because she can survive him well. In an all-in, she has egg form, and if she's under tower, Sylas can't continue under tower. And her ultimate, it's a useful ultimate to Sylas. It's a useful ultimate for Sylas to steal. Don't get me wrong. While there's a big dive in bot lane, but it's a good ultimate for him to steal. But he goes in like 3 seconds if he keeps it up. So it's really good. I recommend Anivia. And again, what's amazing with the new Papercraft skin, it's a great tie-in that if you want to learn Anivia right now, if you say win the skin by entering the giveaway, you could try it out. And obviously Sylas is quite popular, being the most recent champion, and I think it's one of the biggest counters. So try it out. And if you are an Anivia player, then have a go and see if it works for you too. Right, so returning to lane, obviously got a lot more mana now. We get our Lost Chapter there, and that will help quite a bit. We did obviously use Ignite to get that kill on Sylas, but we didn't even use Flash, which was lovely. Sylas missing once again. He could be in that kind of range of, oh god, I just died. You can see he's in bot lane. I just died in a solo kill to the Anivia. There's his Ignite, by the way, and she survives this. So he just used Ignite, doesn't get a kill. Nidalee is looking for the hunt. But yeah, he could be in that kind of range, even though he's been roaming quite a bit. Oh god, Anivia just solo killed me. Maybe she's stronger than me now. I have to roam a lot because I no longer can beat Anivia. What's even better for me, as I just mentioned, meanwhile, Thresh coming for a roam, just wall him off, just block him off. But there's a lot of people here, by the way. But I'm still kind of being around because Lee Sin is here. And Blitzcrank is underneath me, and Fiora's on the way. So Sylas engages on me. I'm still just trying to make it my way to the Lee Sin. You can see he did react very slowly. And Oryx over there, so I wall him away. Blitzcrank hooks the Thresh in. I pick up the kill on the Thresh, and great situation all round. But yeah, things are going pretty good. So right now we're 202. We've got a 450 gold bounty on ourselves. Comparing to, you know, it's also worth to say, don't look at early game into everything. This Lee Sin earlier about that one play was raging like a crazy person, said the game was over, and yet now look, I'm ahead of my lane opponent. I have not died once. I'm 202, far out farming the Sylas. We're now making plays all the time, and the game looks pretty comfortable. So this is where I say to people, and I guarantee there's some people watching who, you people give up in the early game. Don't. Like, be smart about it. You're in solo queue. You're not in pro play. Anyway, play happening in top lane. Fiora manages just to survive. Lee Sin picks up the kill. Lovely hook coming out by Blitzcrank, and Lee Sin picks up a double kill. Unfortunate situation on the other end, though. For some reason, Kalista tries to 2v1 the enemy team, even though she was 1-3 at the time. And she does end up dying herself. So there we go. Archangel Rush. Get a nice wall just to make him run away. He's now over here, so I'm like, I know where he is, but obviously cooldowns are an annoying thing. There's a little ward there. I'm just throwing my ultimate just to see if I could steal. I got 10 gold from killing one of the small ones. It has happened to me that I've stolen a big creep from somebody to try and counter jungle by random, and it's like, hey, sorry, get wrecked. Anyway, returning to mid lane, the camera keeps wanting to not go on me for some reason. But yeah, we have clear advantage in mid lane right now. Sylas trying to wave clear. He engages on me. He just goes straight on top of my face. He kicks me away because he had Lee Sin kick, which I didn't even notice. And I don't die. So I do use my Ignite, unfortunately. But I don't know if I just didn't look that he had Lee Sin kick. Because, yeah, that was unfortunate. If I knew he had Lee Sin kick, I would have delayed my ultimate to hold it longer. I do have passive up, though, apparently. Again, sometimes the replay file can be a bit buggy, but I'm pretty sure I have it up. So I can play continued aggression. Go a slow for him. Looking for just a bit more damage. Fiora's in the mid lane looking for a play. Nice person doesn't randomly take my farm even though they're coming through. Some people do that, and it's very annoying. Invade happening, potentially in bot lane. Nidalee now under the tower to protect, but these two are closing in on the bot lane. So let's see what makes of this, because we're just walking back to lane over there. Fiora just walking in under the tower, potentially engage on the Blitzcrank. Oh, Yorick teleports behind. These two will be coming through. Lee Sin goes over to the left. Kalista does die because she's quite weak. Fiora's going to pick up one kill potentially on the Thresh. She does. She has the ultimate now. She's healing. Yorick does get killed by the Lee Sin kick. So overall, a good situation. Nidalee didn't die. Severe's over here, so she's relatively close to being in the situation. Sylas is in mid lane. He can't roam. His mana's too low, and I now could potentially look for a solo kill. He does steal my ultimate again. Once again, why are you stealing an ultimate that you can't keep up the mana? You're now completely You've lost all your lane pressure. Why would you do that? Doesn't make any sense. Getting ganked by the Nidalee. Again, just stun her. Again, Anivia's such a good champion in many ways. We throw a wall, we get the kill. I get her into the tower a little bit. We get her flash too, and I'm now on a killing spree. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. Hopefully you guys don't get bored, because I'm actually potentially thinking about kind of properly picking up Anivia again. You know, I haven't played that many games this season yet on my main account. It's something like 60 or 70. My most played champion, I think I've played 12 times, something like that, or maybe even less. But the average champion I'm playing about 6 times. I might go through a period that we just play like 10 games of Anivia and see how it goes. If it goes well, I'll continue playing her. Because, yeah, like I rate her so highly. If your team doesn't feed the early game completely, Anivia's so good. She's got great control. Like, even if your team does bad in the early game, by the way, Anivia's great at slowing games down. Because she's got amazing wave clear. She's got that wall to stop people. A straight line stun. It's just great. Fiora gets a kill on the Severe, who was by herself for some reason. Sylas gets hooked by Blitzcrank. He flashes out of my Q, so he doesn't get stunned. And there we go. Kalista, again, Kalista's had a questionable game, but Nidalee jumps on in. I unfortunately failed my wall, but Lee Sin's nearby. Good play by Thresh. Sylas gets killed with a really nice combo by the Blitzcrank and Kalista ultimate. Again, if you're unaware, that combo, those two champions, Kalista and Blitzcrank, if Blitzcrank lands a hook on somebody and starts to drag them, and Kalista ults the Blitzcrank in the perfect timing, you'll actually drag the hooked target as well. Like, it can be double the distance that they originally were, because you've Blitzcrank hooked them and dragged them back with Kalista ultimate too. It's really good, really effective, and that's maybe why we're seeing Kalista in this game, even though it's probably not a great pick right now. It's very rare to see Kalistas nowadays. Anyway, build-wise, finished my, obviously, Archangel a little while ago. We're now 304, got a 700 gold bounty, 142 farms who are still leading in that department, and I am now going to pick up myself a Tier 2 boots. I honestly do not remember what I build next. Potentially a... What is that? I don't even remember what that build is. Is that a Banshee? No, I don't remember. We'll have to find out ourselves. You're with me in this. I can't think right now. My head's a, like, potato. So build-wise, by the way, just as an update, so Fiora in the gold lead is obviously way ahead their lane opponent. That's probably the biggest difference in this game. You've got Yorick that has just completed or got a Triforce, and you've got Fiora with a Triforce, Ravenous Hydra. So if we look into the gold, we haven't as of yet. So in brackets is the number of the total gold the champion has. So Fiora is currently sitting on a massive lead in top lane. Then jungle, Lee Sin has now finally taken over that control again. Again, don't panic about the early game. The Lee Sin had threw a little bit of a hissy fit, but then calmed down and started playing good. Mid lane, I've also got a pretty big advantage. Bot lane is small advantage right there, Kalista, probably due to how many objectives and stuff has been going on. And then obviously support, I've always said the best way to determine if your team is generally winning, how much gold difference is there in supports. Because again, supports are gold starved, so they're going to be mainly getting their gold from assists or objectives. And the Blitzcrank has got over 1,000 gold lead, so that's a really good sign for how well we're doing as a team. We're at 9,000 gold lead at 19 minutes, so yeah, the game's going quite well. Blitzcrank looking for an engage. He does find no one as of yet, I don't think. There he throws out the hook. He was delaying it. Gets the Severe in the end. Lantern her to death, apparently. I'm just keeping my ultimate up just to kind of keep relatively safe to a certain extent. Sylas coming by the side. Basically, I'm just blocking this entrance off. Sylas then decides to engage on me because it's the only path that he has. I'm in egg form. I might end up dying, but I don't think so. Sylas now gets engaged by the Lee Sin. So again, that fight, I probably didn't do that much damage. I was just a massive distraction, and I was a massive block. The enemy team, like, they couldn't really join the fight there. I go for a flash Q play. Didn't end up working, unfortunately. Lee Sin does hit the Q. Probably not going to go for it, and we're now going to continue into the enemy team's base. So yeah, not bad. Sometimes, even for a carry like Anivia, the amount of utility that she brings, some team fights, you're not doing a damage team fight. You're doing a blocking team fight. You're stopping a Sylas, who has really good AoE damage, getting into a team fight. That's a great use of your ultimate. Obviously, a better use is putting it down and doing damage, but it's an okay use to do that as well. Presume we're going to go back and buy. Yorick is now potentially looking for more, but I think he thinks against it. He is, like, borderline killable, but potentially there's vision, so that's how he dodged that. But we're now on, by the way, 306. Haven't died as of yet, but yeah, I'm the only person in the game that hasn't died yet. 700 gold bounty. 2 of my team members have got 1,000 gold bounties, and we're still obviously leading in the general everything. So build-wise, what do I do? So we now have completed the Seraphs, by the way. Build, I am buying... What am I buying? Nothing? I go Banshees. I thought I did. That was like at the tip of my mind. Why Banshees, you may ask? It's pretty good against the enemy team, and I'm going for more of a survival kind of game and like just utility game instead of pure carry game. From memory, I still did quite a lot of damage. I don't remember the exact amount at the top of my head. For some reason, by the way, Fiora tried a 1v4 without any pressure on the map, so that was a bit weird. But it's pretty good against Sylas, because you basically get rid of his initial burst. It's good versus Nidalee Spears, and it's good versus Thresh Hooks. Obviously, you only can block one of those like every minute or something, but it's still really good. And it still gives me damage, and it gives me survivability, so why not? So Lee Sin does end up killing the Nidalee in the 1v1. He is potentially dead. He does die. And we're now going to continue this fight with the Blitzcrank and myself. Going to throw my ultimate down, do pick up the kill, get myself on a rampage, and pick up myself up a double kill. Now being 507. I don't know why I put the Seraphs there, by the way. That was a bit weird. That does make us now have an 800 gold bounty. Not quite the 1,000 yet. But we're now the second highest bounty in the game behind my Callista. So the Callista has turned her own game around quite a bit herself, by the way. She was obviously 104, slowing the Yorick. Let's see if Blitzcrank can get the hook. Yorick flashes out the way. But yeah, generally the Callista's turned it around. Once again, he steals the Anivia ultimate. Again, watch his mana pool. Like, his mana pool is about to go to 0 where he's dead. It definitely is 0 at that point. But I got... maybe it's because he doesn't have great ults to steal. No, Blitzcrank ult is a better ultimate to steal in theory, because it's very similar to do big AoE burst damage, but it doesn't have the crazy mana cost. So Thresh, by the way, is coming near me. Fiora goes in 1v4. I kind of get zoned by the Thresh, but I'm like, I'm just going to kill you and walk away. He also does ignite me for some reason. I don't really know why. But that's going to be that. Fiora, once again, twice in a row, does go in 1v3 or 1v4. I wouldn't do that. Like, sometimes you can. If she had Spear of Shojin right now, she probably could, but she hasn't bought it for some reason. I actually don't know why she hasn't bought it, to be honest. I'm now going to make my way over to the dragon, help the Lee Sin, and probably base while my ultimate is up. So we're now on a 900 gold bounty, so we are the most bounty in the game because we're the only bounty in the game because everyone else has died. Going to end up going back and building probably a needlessly large. Yep, so the next item I would build will be a death cap. Because obviously we're now looking that we've got our survivability, we're doing quite well in the game. Now let's build that big AP damage item that actually will give us that carry potential. Because we are technically carrying this game, but it's just not that obvious carry, which is fine. There are so many different types of carrying. Again, the lower rating you go, people only think there's one type. Kill everything and win the game. Not necessary. There are many others. Anyway, Blitzcrank does get Callista ultimate. He's probably going to look for an engage. Does go for it. Ravana's Righteous Glory, is pop. Goes for a hook. Just dodges, does the thingy. Fiora getting engaged on. Sylas goes in a really weird situation. Don't really know why. He's going to end up dying. So he's now 2 and 7. We're now going to walk into the enemy team's base and probably look to end the game, if I'm honest. But yeah, pretty solid game. Just a great example of Anivia in general, that she's so good at controlling the game. She's also very good at not dying, so if you're a mid laner that's like, I die a lot, Anivia might be the champion to you. Meanwhile, the enemy team is standing in my ultimate and slowing and damaging themselves. Blitzcrank hooks a target. I'm over to the side over here. Going to do some damage. Keep in my ultimate, by the way, because it's a great zoning tool. See if I can get one more, potentially. Probably not, though. Do get hooked. No, we don't. Blitzcrank gets a hook, and double kill comes in. We do end up killing one. I get another assist. So we're now 6-0-11, and the game does come to an end. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, throw a like on the video. Obviously, that will enter you to the giveaway to win the bundle. So again, only North America and the US. In your comment, feel free to put your summoner name if you want, because that sometimes makes it easier. But yeah, leave any comment you want. You know, if you think the content's going good, any feedback you have, anything, how's Season 9 going for you, you can leave any type of comment. I don't really mind. But yeah, if you guys enjoy, smash the like button, make sure you subscribe, ding the bell if you want to try and get notifications. Also, just like as a quick plug, I do stream nearly daily on twitch.tv/HuzzyGames. So if you are in the market for watching somebody, feel free to put a follow. I do stream at like not normal times though, for like most Americans, who are the most of you. I stream generally from 1 PM to about 5 PM UK time, about 5 times a week. So yeah, feel free to check that out whenever I am live. But I'll see you guys next time. Peace.